Number one is that you need to set regular weekly meeting rhythms, and that's key, and that you hold to those. That's number one. Number two is that at these meetings that each employee actually reports their score. So they report their score or scores based on their KPIs or their lead measures. They also share a win or wins, and they also share where they're stuck. So because we know that we're not always hitting our goals in the KPIs. And then the third thing is that each employee would then set their one goal, one action for the next week. Okay, so you have the weekly meeting, you hold to that, they report their score, talk about a win, where they're stuck. Third is set one goal, one action. Now, talking to you a little bit as the leader, there's a few things that you want to be thinking about as the leader. Number one, there's a couple things. Number one, define. Your job is to keep accountability and visibility high. So number one is defining, being very clear in defining what are the lag measures, so the big goals, and what are the lead measures, what are those smaller goals, the KPIs, what are those, being very clear in defining them. Number two is training. Training is the key to execution, and so setting your regular weekly training rhythms and making sure that your trainings are very specific on hitting those lead measures, making sure that those trainings are also documented within the playbook for each and every employee and the position and the actual system that's in place. So number three is coaching. So you actually are, it's important that you're coaching. Training and coaching are two different things. Training is an actual dedicated time where you actually are going after a part of a system and working with a specific person or the team. The actual coaching is where you are regularly kind of just sharing insights and giving feedback, and the team can actually be coaching each other and giving feedback, and happens in these meetings. It just kind of happens organically, naturally, as you start building these rhythms in. So just kind of that natural coaching process. And then the fourth is actually meeting regularly. So you're actually meeting consistently, regularly. That's again under the leadership role. Your job is to make sure that this is happening and the accountability is there. And then the fifth and final is the updating. So then every 90 days you're running through the sprint, and then you're updating the goals with that. And then with the updating of the new goals, I always like to say I like to cast a vision, explaining the why behind the goal, how it actually is it a wildly important goal or a big audacious goal, or why it's so important for our team. So it's so critical as a leader that you're doing those 5 very specific things while you're actually overseeing it. So remember, the leader is responsible to set the expectations and keep things going, and the employees are actually responsible to actually do the execution. So you're setting, they're executing, and you're all working together. And again, you're providing the training, the coaching, you're creating the structure for them to be able to function and be successful and win consistently.